Hey everyone, Cartoon King here, and thanks for checking in on the second half of my top 20. Today we're doing 10 through 6. We're really getting down to the nitty gritty of it, ones that are really close to my heart, ones that probably you guys all know, are really familiar with. But before I get down to it, there's something kind of cool I want to share with you guys. On my 20 through 16 video, of all people, Lisa Nova left a comment on my video. And this probably happened because of maybe one or two reasons. One, my video was just so awesome she couldn't resist but leaving a comment. That probably wasn't it. Or number two, she's one of the few cool people left on YouTube, celebrities, that are out there. They don't forget the little channels, and I really think that's what it is. She's actually one of the few actual celebrities on YouTube. I mean, she's been on a couple episodes of Mad TV on Fox. And you know, it's just really cool because the comment she left, it wasn't like something generic like cool video or whatever. I mean, she actually watched the video the whole way through and like leave a comment about the video. So I thought that was really cool that, you know, she still cares about her fans and she really realizes where she came from, unlike some other YouTubers out there that don't really care. In fact, they even like make fun of their subscribers or think they're like stupid or whatever. So thanks a lot, Lisa Nova. You're awesome, and keep doing what you're doing because we love you. Alright, so we're getting down to it. Some of these are probably, like I said, more closer to my heart, and I'm going to share more of why they're this high and why I liked them as opposed to giving like mini reviews, because you probably are familiar with all these shows. So let's get right down into it at number 10 with Animaniacs. Alright, so for me, the Animaniacs is one of those shows that I watch pretty much every day after I came home from school. You know, put the backpack down, grab a soda, and turn on a great episode of the Animaniacs. It was wild, it was fun, and it was zany. Now, what zany means, I couldn't really tell you, but if there were anything to perfectly describe it, it'd be the Animaniacs. I mean, they're just like totally kooky and wild, and they don't really care what they do. You know, that's what I really liked about the show. It was so different. You never knew what you were expecting at all. Every episode was totally different and crazy. And not only did it have Wacko, Yakko, and Dot, but it had all those other characters, like, you know, Pinky and the Brain trying to take over the world, and Mindy and the little squirrel and the pigeons. I mean, every episode was just great. And sometimes they, you know, had all the characters in one, or they just combined them to make for like wacky, crazy adventures. You know, it's just one of those brainless shows that you could turn on and just laugh and have a good time. And also, anything that Steven Spielberg produces is pretty much going to be awesome. So you know when it says Steven Spielberg presents the Animaniacs, you know it's bound to be great. So that's why for me, it's at the top 10, Animaniacs. Alright, for me coming in at number 9, I've got South Park. And this is one of those shows that always pushes the envelope on what's actually allowed on television. I mean, they give the censors headaches with some of the stuff they do. And for me, that's just great. Because I remember when Beavis and Butthead was at the peak of its popularity, which was one of my favorite shows at the time, they said this show coming out, and they said this was going to be even worse than Beavis and Butthead. And for me, that meant it was going to be even funnier, and it definitely lived up to the expectation. It was totally out there, and probably offended, you know, a group or two pretty much every episode. And to this day, one of my favorite episodes out of any television show anywhere is the one Make Love Not Warcraft, where they all play World of Warcraft trying to get that one guy down. It's just absolutely hilarious. And that's why for me, one of the best shows of all time, coming in at number 9, we've got South Park. Alright, coming in at number 8 for me, I've got X-Men. And there's one word to describe this show: awesome. This was easily one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. I never missed an episode. I always made sure my mom woke me up or I set an alarm to catch this show because it was so cool. You know, I read a lot of the comics and had the action figures, played the video games, but we didn't have the movies yet. So this was the one show us kids could watch and really get into. And you know what the cool thing about it was? They had a dark tone to it and they made it really serious, or as serious as you could get. You know, there were some shows out there that were action cartoons, but they made it kind of goofy and they cracked jokes once in a while. And granted, there were jokes on X-Men, but they really tried to make this as serious as they could for kids. And it was one that you could really, you know, come back from the weekend or whatever and talk about, oh man, you see that episode of X-Men? Yeah, it was awesome. And they got pretty cool when they started going into the future, fighting Apocalypse and Cable and all that stuff. One of the greatest cartoon series of all time, definitely planning on buying the DVD soon. And that's why, for me, it's coming in at number 8, X-Men. Alright, coming in at number 7, we've got Transformers. And this had a strong reputation for just being a great cartoon. If you never watched the show, you knew it was cool, even if you never did. But I did watch the show and I knew it was awesome. I mean, what more could you ask for than jets and cars and all kinds of vehicles turning into robots and just beating the crap out of each other? It was awesome as a kid. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. And it starred, in my opinion, the greatest cartoon voice actor of all time, Peter Cullen. And I loved how they paid the respects to this guy and had him do the voice of Optimus Prime in the live-action movie of Transformers, which in my opinion is one of the greatest movies of all time, regardless if it's a remake or not. And so it just set the tone for making remakes. And then, you know, they got the G.I. Joe in the works, Voltron, Thundercats. I mean, you know the list. So it's just amazing that it's lasted this long, and it's just a great cartoon. So that's why it's coming in at number 7 for me. We've got Transformers. Alright, finally rounding out this week's list at number 6, I've got The Simpsons. And you know, this is one of those shows that's been on over 20 seasons. And you know, this isn't just a great cartoon, it's a great show, period. Regardless of genre, whether it's a cartoon or not, this is probably one of the greatest shows ever. I mean, if you have a show that's on for over 20 seasons, you know you're doing something right. And it really set the stage for shows like Family Guy, King of the Hill, American Dad, and really created the genre of cartoon sitcom. I mean, there were really nothing like The Simpsons before it. It was so groundbreaking and so original and so clever. I mean, a lot of these jokes are funny. I mean, they're not just like stupid, funny slapstick stuff. They're like genuinely, you kind of got to think about it. And it's a little bit of a reward every time you kind of get the joke. And you know, this show is so in-depth and so amazing. I mean, I took an entire class in college dedicated to Simpsons. It was an English class with an emphasis on The Simpsons. I mean, this is how epic this show is. And, you know, it's still running today, has had a feature film, and it's just doing so many things right, and it's probably going to be on for many more seasons. And it's just a great show. Everybody loves it. How can you not? So that's why it's at the top of the list for me this week at number 6. It's The Simpsons. Alright everybody, that was my 10 through 6 out of my top 20 favorite cartoon shows of all time. I hope you enjoyed it, and next week it's going to be top 5. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And, you know, I'm so excited. You know, I'm going to do something for you guys because you're so awesome. I'm going to do a little contest. It's going to be a little tough, but if you can do it, it'll be worth it. If you can name correctly in order my top 5 favorite cartoon shows of all time, you know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to get you a DVD, any DVD of your choice. I'm not talking about just like, you know, a movie. But if you really want it, like let's say, like, you know what? I really want Transformers. I will get you the DVD of Transformers. I'll even get you the special edition with all the extra features because this one doesn't have it, unfortunately. Or if you're like, you know what? I want season 7 of Scrubs. I'll be like, you know what? I'll get you an entire box set. I'll give you a whole season of any show of your choice. All you have to do, correctly name my top 5 in order cartoon shows of all time. But here's the only stipulation. You have to be a subscriber to my channel. So if you're not a subscriber and you want to be part of this contest, just subscribe. It's really easy. Just click the subscribe button and you're in. Alright, so get to thinking, guys. If you really think you know what it's going to be, let me know. Leave it as either a video or comment response to this video. I'm looking forward to reading those and seeing if you think you can guess it right. Until next time, I'm the Cartoon Fiend, and if you're not having fun, it's probably your own darn fault.